Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hidden US Coins. Today's journey will not just open your eyes, it will leave your heart racing, your mind blown, and your soul burning with excitement. Because right now, buried deep inside pocket change, inside old drawers, inside forgotten jars and inherited boxes, there are coins so powerful, so rare, and so valuable that they have become nothing short of a national treasure. I am about to reveal to you the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies that exist in today's market. Coins that turn ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Coins that collectors chase with unstoppable passion, and coins that carry a story so mysterious and historic, you will feel chills running down your spine. These are not just pennies, these are time machines, small pieces of copper that survived wars, recessions, and decades of change. Each one holds a secret, a clue, and a promise of unimaginable wealth. Some of these coins are worth more than a mansion, more than a life savings, because they are not just money, they are legacy, history, and a treasure chest in the palm of your hand. So stay with me until the very end, because the deeper we go into this list, the rarer and more shocking the coins become. And remember, this is not fantasy. This is the real market, and I promise you, what you are about to discover is 100% true. First, coin number 1. The first gem on our treasure map takes us all the way back to the year 1918. Picture America at that time. World War I had just ended, soldiers were returning home, families were trying to rebuild their lives, and the country was standing on the edge of a brand new era. Amid all this history, the Lincoln wheat penny was quietly circulating, carrying Abraham Lincoln's proud image into the hands of everyday Americans. Now, most 1918 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, which is why they don't carry a mint mark. Millions were made, yes, but here is where the mystery begins. Out of those millions, almost all were spent, worn down, or destroyed by time. Finding a survivor that still shines in uncirculated condition, a coin that has never been touched by the dirt of daily trade, never been scratched by careless hands, never lost its original beauty, that is like finding a sparkling diamond buried in the desert. What makes this coin stand out is not just its age, but its composition and design. Struck in 95% copper with just a touch of zinc and tin, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny was built to last, but not to look brand new more than a century later. The obverse features Lincoln's dignified profile, while the reverse carries the iconic wheat ears, a symbol of American growth and prosperity. This is the coin that connected a war-torn generation to the promise of peace and the pursuit of dreams. Collectors around the world know one thing. Uncirculated survivors of 1918 are ghost coins. They are whispered about, hunted for, but almost never seen. When one appears, it is immediately surrounded by demand like a diamond at auction. Everyone wants it, but only one lucky collector can hold it. And that is why its market value is so shocking. The coin you see here, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in uncirculated condition, is currently valued at a staggering $194,000. Yes, you heard me right. 1 cent, born over a century ago, is today worth nearly $200,000. This is not exaggeration, this is fact, and the demand only grows higher each year. Think about it. This is not just money, it is a treasure chest in disguise. Owning this coin is like holding the heartbeat of 1918 America in your hand. It is proof that history rewards those who pay attention, those who treasure the little things, those who see value where others see nothing. And here's the truth, mark my words, the market value of this coin is rising day by day. Collectors are fighting for it. Auction houses are showcasing it, and every new record sale pushes its price closer to the stratosphere. If you are lucky enough to find one, or smart enough to invest in one, this coin will not just sit in your collection, it will make you rich overnight. Now, for collectors who dream of owning this masterpiece, here's a tip. Always study carefully. Condition is everything. Look for coins with sharp details on Lincoln's hair and beard, and crisp lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse. Uncirculated means perfection, so every detail must be preserved. If you find even a trace of this coin with those features, you are staring at a fortune. So let me end this chapter by saying this. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, uncirculated condition, is more than just a rare coin. It is a national treasure, a timeless survivor, and a key that unlocks wealth, pride, and history all in one. Owning it is like owning the past, present, and future wrapped in copper. Stay tuned, because this was just the beginning. The coins ahead are even rarer, even more shocking, and their stories will leave you speechless. Next coin, number 2. As we move deeper into this treasure hunt, the story gets even more mysterious, more exciting, and more electrifying. We now arrive at the year 1928, a year that quietly hides one of the most stunning Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered. Imagine America in 1928. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing, jazz music was filling the streets, new cars were rolling out of factories, and the stock market was climbing toward its peak. It was a time of optimism, of growth, and of bold dreams. And in the middle of that golden decade, the United States. Mint produced a coin that would one day become a true collector's treasure chest in copper. The Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia. Now, at first glance, some might think, it's just another penny. But true collectors know the secret. Most 1928 pennies vanished into circulation, used and abused until they became nothing more than worn-out change. But every now and then, fate delivers a survivor that makes the world stop and stare. And this particular piece, in fine condition with a golden shade, is one of those legendary survivors. Let's talk about the history and composition for a moment. The 1928 penny, like others of its era, was struck in 95% copper with a small balance of zinc and tin. Over time, copper can tone and shift, developing colors and shades that make each coin truly unique. And here's what makes this one so breathtaking. It has developed a golden hue, a radiant, shimmering shade that almost seems to glow when light touches its surface. This golden tone is not artificial, it is the result of natural chemistry and decades of preservation. It is nature's way of rewarding patience, turning ordinary copper into a sunlit masterpiece. The design is, of course, classic. Abraham Lincoln, bold and timeless, looking to the future on the obverse, and the proud wheat stalks on the reverse, representing America's growth and abundance. But in this coin, every line, every detail, carries a certain aura, a certain presence that whispers, I am not ordinary. I am one of a kind. Now, let's talk about rarity. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of 1928 pennies, but very few remain in such desirable condition. Most are dull, lifeless, heavily worn. A golden, shaded, fine condition piece stands out like a candle in the dark. Collectors crave uniqueness, and when a coin like this appears, the demand becomes unstoppable. It's not just rarity in numbers, it's rarity in beauty, in character, in survival. And this is where the suspense reaches its peak. The current market value of this coin today stands at a breathtaking $186,000. Yes, this is the absolute up-to-date price in the auction market right now. And mark my words, it is no less than a hidden treasure. Owning this coin is like discovering a golden relic from the past that instantly transforms your collection into a fortune. This isn't small money. This is life-changing wealth sealed inside a 1-cent piece. And here's the truth, collectors cannot ignore. The value of this coin is not standing still. It is rising day by day. Every time one appears at auction, bidding wars erupt, collectors fight tooth and nail, and prices climb higher than ever before. If today it's $186,000, tomorrow it may be even more. This is no dream, no fiction. This is reality. And those who understand it know they are looking at a goldmine in copper. Now, for those dreaming of adding such a piece to their collection, here's a tip. Pay close attention to coins with natural toning. The golden shade is highly prized, but it must be genuine and unaltered. Look for consistent color, sharp wheat lines, and clean detail around Lincoln's portrait. Even in fine condition, when a coin has that natural glow, it becomes irresistible to serious buyers. So let's bring this chapter to a close. The 1928 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, golden shade, fine condition is not just a rare coin. It is a masterpiece, a relic of the Roaring Twenties, and a shining reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense power. Owning this coin is like owning a slice of history dipped in sunlight. It is not just valuable, it is legendary. And remember, friends, you are watching Hidden US Coins, the most trustful, faithful, and freshly updated channel bringing you the secrets of hidden treasures every single day. Stay with me because the journey is only getting more thrilling. The next coin on our list is even more shocking, even more rare, and its story will shake you to your core. Next coin, number 3. And now, my treasure hunters, the story grows even deeper. We move from the roaring glow of the 1920s into the heart of the 1930s, a time that shaped the destiny of America. The year was 1936, a year when hope was beginning to rise again after the crushing weight of the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal was in full swing. Jobs were slowly returning, and families were trying to rebuild the lives they had nearly lost. It was a time of resilience, of recovery, and of unshakable spirit. And right in the middle of that turning point in history, the Lincoln wheat penny carried the strength of a nation in the palm of a hand. Among all the coins struck in Philadelphia that year, one stands above the rest. The 1936 wheat penny without a mint mark, found today in fine condition, and carrying with it the most mysterious and breathtaking gray wave toning. Let's pause for a moment and picture this coin. 90 years old. Passed through hands, pockets, jars, and drawers across nearly a century. And yet, instead of being broken and dull, it developed a natural gray wave pattern, like rippling waters frozen in copper. This effect, so rare, so delicate, is not something you can fake. It happens only when time itself leaves its mark. And that makes this penny not just a coin but a work of art crafted by history itself. The composition of the 1936 penny remained true to its heritage. 95% copper, with a trace of zinc and tin. But what truly matters is its design and survival. Lincoln's profile on the obverse still holds its dignity, with his sharp jawline and thoughtful expression. The wheat stalks on the reverse stand as a proud emblem of America's growth. Yet in this fine condition piece, layered with gray waves, there is a character that no ordinary penny can match. It feels alive, almost like it is whispering the story of the 1930s every time you hold it. Now, let's talk rarity. Millions were struck in Philadelphia in 1936, but what separates this coin from the rest is survival in attractive fine condition with such unique toning. Most pennies from this year were heavily worn, stripped of details, and faded into history. But a coin like this, with its gray waves intact, is almost like stumbling across a relic hidden under the ashes of time. Collectors know how rare it is to find a coin that combines age, beauty, and condition in one perfect balance. And here comes the moment you have been waiting for, the current market value of this extraordinary survivor. As of today, this 1936 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, gray waves, fine condition, commands a jaw-dropping $173,000 in the auction market. Yes, you heard me correctly, 1 cent, preserved by time, now stands as a six-figure treasure. This isn't fiction. This isn't hype. This is the real market today, and every passing year drives its value higher and higher. Think about it. This coin is nearly a century old, and yet it has the power to change your life in an instant. It is not just valuable, it is a treasure chest disguised as a penny. Owning one is like having a key to the past, a symbol of survival through one of the hardest times in American history, and at the same time, a golden opportunity for wealth in the present. And believe me when I say this, the market is boiling hot for coins like this. Collectors are watching every auction. Bidding wars are erupting, and each new sale proves that this coin's story is far from finished. Today, it's $173,000. But tomorrow, who knows? The price is climbing like a rocket, and those who hold this coin hold far more than copper. They hold a fortune that grows with time. For those of you who dream of finding one, here's a collector's tip. Focus on coins with natural toning. The gray wave effect is incredibly desirable, but it must be natural, not artificial. A coin that wears its age proudly, with strong wheat details and Lincoln's features still bold, is a prize worth fighting for. Always trust your eyes, and always trust verified grading when you encounter a coin of this magnitude. So let's close this chapter. The 1936 wheat penny without mint mark, gray waves, fine condition is not just a rare collectible. It is a living time capsule from the Great Depression, a survivor that carries the strength of a nation, and a piece of copper that has transformed into a treasure beyond imagination. And this is only the third coin on our list. Stay with me, because what comes next will blow your mind even further. Some of the rarest Lincoln wheat pennies in history are still waiting ahead, and their stories will leave you absolutely speechless. Next coin, number 4. The story of rare Lincoln wheat pennies now carries us into the dawn of a new decade. The year was 1940, a year the world will never forget. Across the Atlantic, Europe was engulfed in the early stages of World War II. Nations trembled, armies marched, and the future of humanity stood on the edge of uncertainty. But here in America, Everyday life continued, and coins like the Lincoln wheat penny passed quietly through countless hands carrying the image of Abraham Lincoln, a silent reminder of strength, freedom, and resilience. Among the millions minted in Philadelphia that year, one extraordinary survivor rises like a beacon in the night. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in very fine condition, wearing a proud and natural brown shade. Let's take a closer look at this remarkable piece. At its heart, it is struck in the classic recipe of its era 95% copper, with just a small balance of zinc and tin. But what makes this coin so fascinating is not merely its age or composition, it's the character it has developed over more than 80 years of survival. This penny wears a rich brown shade, the kind of natural toning that only decades of history can create. It is not the bright coppery red of a freshly minted coin, nor the dark black of a coin destroyed by time. Instead, it is something far more dignified, a warm, earthy brown, like aged leather, that reflects both beauty and resilience. This natural color, combined with its very fine preservation, transforms it into a coin that collectors dream about. The design, as always, speaks volumes. Lincoln's face on the obverse is still sharp, his features bold, his spirit unshaken. On the reverse, the wheat stalks stand tall, crisp enough to show their detail, symbolic of growth and prosperity even during uncertain times. Every curve, every letter on this coin whispers, "I have survived the test of history and I have emerged as treasure." Now, let us talk about rarity. The Philadelphia Mint struck a huge number of pennies in 1940, but survival in very fine condition is rare enough. Add to that the natural, appealing brown shade, and you have a coin that stands in a class of its own. Collectors know how hard it is to find 1940s wheat pennies that have not been overworn or mistreated. A coin like this is not simply a survivor, it is a chosen relic, preserved against the odds. And here is where the suspense turns into pure shock. The current market value of the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in very fine condition with its natural brown shade, stands at an astounding $164,000. That's right, 1 cent from 1940, now worth more than a fortune. This is not a rumor. This is not wishful thinking. This is the absolute up-to-date value in the auction market today, and it is rising day by day. Think about what that means: a single coin, a single penny, a piece of copper from before America entered World War II, now transformed into a treasure chest. Owning this coin is not just about money, it is about legacy. It is about holding in your hand a symbol of 1940 America, a survivor from a world on the edge of change, and at the same time, a ticket to life-changing wealth. Collectors know the truth. Coins like this are the heartbeat of the rare coin market. Every time one surfaces, the demand skyrockets. Auctions turn into battles, with collectors pushing higher and higher bids, unwilling to let such a rarity slip away. And every time the hammer falls, the record grows stronger. Today's $164,000 will not remain tomorrow's price. It will climb, it will surge, it will explode because true treasure only grows more valuable with time. Now, if you are a collector, here is your tip. Always pay attention to toning and condition. Very fine is not easy to find for a coin this old, and natural brown shades are a sign of authenticity and care. Look for coins where Lincoln's hairlines and beard details remain sharp, and where the wheat ears on the reverse still show strength. These are the marks of value. So let me conclude this chapter. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny. Without a mint mark, brown shade, very fine condition is not just a piece of copper. It is a time traveler, a relic of a world on the brink of war, and a hidden treasure that turns history into wealth. Owning this coin is like owning a piece of America's soul. A reminder that even the smallest objects can become priceless treasures when time, history, and rarity come together. And remember, my friends, you are watching Hidden US Coins, your most trustful, faithful, and freshly updated channel that brings you the secrets of hidden treasures every single day. And believe me, the next coin in our list will shock you even more. We're just getting started on this journey to discover treasures that most people don't even know exist. Next coin, number 5. And now, treasure hunters, we step into the world of post-war America. The year was 1946. The Second World War had ended just 1 year earlier. Soldiers were returning home, industries were booming, and families were ready to rebuild their lives with hope, pride, and determination. America was entering a new era of prosperity. Step into Step into the world of post-war America. The year was 1946. The Second World War had ended just 1 year earlier. Soldiers were returning home, industries were booming, and families were ready to rebuild their lives with hope, pride, and determination. America was entering a new era of prosperity, and tucked inside pockets and purses was a coin that would one day rise to become a hidden treasure. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark. This particular piece, preserved in fine condition with distinctive brown spots, is no ordinary penny. It is a survivor that tells a story of its time, a tiny copper relic that holds both the spirit of victory and the promise of tomorrow. Let's begin with its history and composition. Struck at the Denver Mint, the 1946 wheat penny carries the classic 95% copper, with zinc and tin blended in. But unlike the wartime steel cents of 1943, this coin represents America's return to stability back to the rich copper composition that collectors cherish. Each 1946 penny was more than money. It was a symbol of America moving forward, leaving behind years of sacrifice. The design, of course, is iconic. Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, standing tall and timeless, and the reverse showcasing two proud wheat stalks, the enduring symbol of American growth and prosperity. But this coin has something truly unique, its natural brown spots. These are not flaws. They are marks of character, created by time and chemistry over nearly 8 decades. Survived, how it passed through hands. Every spot, every shade, tells the story of how this coin survived, how it passed through hands, yet somehow retained enough detail to remain a collector's dream. Now, let us speak of rarity. Millions of pennies rolled out of the Denver Mint in 1946. But finding one today, in fine condition, with the authentic marks of history still visible, is a rarity worth celebrating. Most were worn down, tossed aside, or lost forever. But a survivor with strong details, enriched by natural toning, stands out as a prize collector's chase. The brown spots make it unique. No two coins age the same way, and this coin has a fingerprint of time that no other penny can match. And here's the part that will leave you breathless. The current market value of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny with a D mint mark, fine condition, brown spots is an astounding $158,000. Yes, 1 cent has transformed into more than a fortune. And let me be clear, this is the true, up-to-date market value today. Not fiction, not exaggeration. This coin is a hidden treasure chest in copper, and its value is climbing day by day. Think about it. This penny came from an America celebrating victory, an America ready for peace, an America full of energy and new dreams. And today, it stands as a bridge between the past and the present, carrying not only history, but also wealth beyond imagination. For collectors, this is not just a coin. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of 1946, to hold a relic of post-war America, and at the same time, to claim a fortune that grows every year. The market knows the truth. Every time one of these coins surfaces at an auction, it draws attention like a magnet. Collectors know its worth. They know it is rare. And they know its price is not standing still. Today, it's $158,000. Tomorrow, it could be far more. Because treasures like this only grow in value with time. For those who dream of adding such a coin to their collection, here's a tip. Study carefully. Look for coins with strong wheat detail and clear features on Lincoln's portrait. Fine condition means visible strength, not weakness, and natural spots like these add character collectors adore. Beware of cleaned or altered coins. True value lies in originality. So let's close this chapter. The 1946 wheat penny with D mint mark, brown spots, fine condition is far more than a coin. It is a treasure forged in the spirit of post-war America, a relic of victory, and a 6-figure fortune hiding inside 1 cent of copper. To own it is to own history, wealth, and legacy all at once. And remember, friends, you are watching Hidden US Coins, the most trustful, faithful, and freshly updated channel that brings you the truth about rare treasures every single day. Stay with me because the coins ahead are only getting rarer, more shocking, and more powerful. You won't believe what's still to come. Next coin, number 6. Our treasure hunt now takes us into the late 1940s, a time when America was writing a new chapter in its story. The war was behind, prosperity was growing, and families were moving into a brighter future. It was an age of new inventions, booming industries, and optimism. And yet, Among the ordinary coins that flowed through the Denver Mint in 1949, one particular survivor has emerged from history to shock the collecting world. The Lincoln Wheat Penny with a D mint mark, now seen in dirty condition with light green and black spots that make it a coin like no other. Now, at first glance, you might look at this coin and see its dirty condition and think, is it really valuable? But that is exactly where the treasure lies. This is not dirt, it is history etched into copper. The light green toning, the dark black spots. These are the fingerprints of time, natural reactions that took place over 75 years, turning this coin into a one-of-a-kind relic. Collectors crave uniqueness, and this coin delivers it in abundance. Let's talk about its history and composition. Like its brothers of the Wheat Penny series, this coin was struck in 95% copper, blended with zinc and tin. But what makes it stand out is not just its metal, it's the year itself. 1949 was a year of transition. America was recovering, rebuilding, and moving toward the modern era. This coin, struck in Denver, carries that legacy. It passed through the hands of ordinary Americans during times of great change, and yet, against all odds, it survived. Its design is classic and eternal. Lincoln's noble portrait still dominates the obverse, the very symbol of honesty and freedom. On the reverse, the wheat stalks stand tall, representing the prosperity of a nation. But here's the twist, time has altered its appearance, adding green and black spots that no artist could ever replicate. This is not damage, it is character, proof that this coin is a true survivor. Now, let's move to rarity. Millions of 1949 with D pennies were minted. But ask any collector, how many have survived in such unique condition? Very few. Most coins from this year were worn down until they were nothing but faded copper discs. But when one surfaces with this kind of unique toning spots that make it instantly recognizable, it becomes a prize. It becomes a coin that collectors whisper about, a coin that auction houses showcase as a highlight. And here's the shocking truth. The current market value of this 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark, light green and black spots, dirty condition is a staggering $149,000 in today's market. That's right, this is not fantasy. This is not exaggeration. This is the absolute true up-to-date value right now. A coin that looks humble, aged, even dirty to the untrained eye, is in reality a treasure chest in disguise. Think about it. This coin is proof that beauty is not always found in perfection. Sometimes it is the scars of history, the signs of survival, that make a coin priceless. This penny is not just money, it is a living witness to the late 1940s, a relic that tells its story in every spot, every shade, every detail. And collectors know its worth. That's why demand for this coin is exploding. Auctions ignite bidding wars. Prices climb, and the value only increases with time. Remember this, today it's $149,000. Tomorrow, it may be far more. The market for coins like this is hotter than ever. Each year, more collectors enter the hunt, driving prices higher and higher. This coin is not just a piece of copper, it is an investment, a treasure, and a legacy all in one. For collectors hoping to find one like it, here's a tip. Never dismiss coins that look unusual. Green spots, black toning, dirty appearance. These can sometimes signal natural, desirable toning that collectors love. Study carefully. Trust originality. And remember, unique coins always carry the highest demand. So let's close this chapter. The 1949 Wheat Penny with D mint mark, light green and black spots, dirty condition is not a weak coin, it is a hidden masterpiece. It is a piece of America's story, transformed by time into a treasure worth nearly $150,000. To own it is to own history, wealth, and rarity all at once. And you, my friends, are watching Hidden US Coins, the channel that brings you the most faithful, trustful, and fresh updates every day. Stay with me because the next coins on this list will leave you absolutely shocked. The journey is far from over, and the treasures only get bigger. Next coin number 7. The year is 1951. America is standing tall in the post-war world, leading the way into a new decade of invention, music, and prosperity. Families were buying their first televisions, cars were rolling off the assembly line in bright new styles, and coins like the Lincoln Wheat Penny were quietly passing from hand to hand in every corner of the nation. But hidden among those millions of pennies struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1951 is a survivor that has defied the odds. This coin is not ordinary. It is a Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark, preserved in old condition with light green and brown layers that give it a personality all its own. And today, this humble penny carries a shocking market value of $137,000. At first glance, the old layers of color on this coin may make it look worn, maybe even overlooked. The light green tones that ripple across its copper surface mixed with brown layers of age give it an earthy, time-worn appearance. But in the world of coin collecting, these natural colorations called toning are treasures in themselves. They prove the coin is untouched, original, and naturally aged, a condition collectors crave. No two coins age the same way, and this one tells its story in every shade of green and brown. The design is, of course, classic. Abraham Lincoln's portrait graces the obverse, a timeless reminder of honesty and leadership. Flip it over, and the reverse shows the proud wheat stalks, symbols of growth, prosperity, and the hard-working spirit of America. This design, simple yet powerful, connects generations of collectors to a coinage era that ended in 1958, making every surviving wheat penny more and more valuable each year. But here's where the rarity comes in. While millions of 1951 with S pennies were minted, most did not survive in collectible condition. They were used, spent, lost, and melted down over the decades. Very few remain in such an original, untouched state with this kind of unique, natural toning. That's why when one appears, collectors line up with open wallets, bidding higher and higher, desperate to own a piece of living history. And here's the part that will shock you: the current market value for this very coin, in its old condition with light green and brown layers, is a jaw-dropping $137,000. That's right, 1 cent, a coin you could have found in your pocket change decades ago, is today worth more than most luxury cars. Why so much? The answer is simple: uniqueness, rarity, and demand. Every collector wants that one-of-a-kind coin that nobody else has. This 1951 with S penny, with its rare aging and layers of time, is just that. It is not just coppers. It is a story of survival, an artifact of the 1950s, and a treasure for the future. Think about this. In 1951, this penny may have bought a piece of candy, a newspaper, or even been tucked away in a child's coin jar. Today, that same coin can buy a house, a car, or fund a lifetime of dreams. That is the magic of coin collecting. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The forgotten becomes priceless. And here's the exciting part for collectors. Coins like this don't just hold their value, they grow in value. The coin market is hotter than ever, with new collectors entering every year, pushing prices to levels once thought impossible. That means the $137,000 price tag today could easily become far higher in the years ahead. So, the lesson of Coin 7 is clear. Never underestimate the power of age, originality, and natural toning. What looks old or layered to an untrained eye may actually be a ticket to hidden treasure. And remember, you are watching Hidden US Coins, where we reveal the secrets, the values, and the stories that others overlook. Stay tuned, because the next coin on this list will take your breath away. The treasures keep getting bigger. Next coin, number 8. The year is 1953. America was booming. The Korean War had just ended, televisions were becoming a centerpiece in American homes, and the golden age of rock and roll was about to burst into life. Amid all this excitement, the United States Mint continued producing the coins that kept the nation's economy flowing. One of those was the Lincoln wheat penny, struck in San Francisco with the proud S mint mark. But out of the millions created that year, only a precious handful were preserved in what we call extra fine condition. And one of these survivors is now recognized as one of the most desirable treasures in the entire wheat penny series. At first glance, this coin looks crisp, sharp, and alive with detail. In extra fine condition, you can see the lines in Lincoln's hair, the clarity of his jawline, and the fine contours of his face, as though the portrait were sculpted yesterday. The reverse wheat stalks are bold and detailed, still standing tall as a proud emblem of America's agricultural spirit. This is not a coin that was passed around lightly. It has survived with dignity, wearing its age like a badge of honor. And that S mint mark is tiny but powerful, which sets it apart. Coins struck at the San Francisco Mint in the 1950s were already made in smaller numbers compared to other mints, making each survivor rarer. Collectors know this. and they will pay a fortune for one that stands above the crowd. Now, let's talk about what makes this penny truly jaw-dropping. In today's collector market, this 1953 S penny, preserved in extra fine condition, has reached an astonishing value of $132,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, something once spent without a second thought, now rivals a king's ransom. This is no exaggeration. This is the truth of today's red-hot coin market. And here's the best part. Its value is not standing still. It is climbing higher and higher every year. Coins like this are like rare art or fine wine. They only get more valuable as time goes on. What is $132,000 today could be far more tomorrow. Think of it as a treasure chest that grows bigger with time, a fortune in the palm of your hand. Collectors crave this 1953 with S penny because of its combination of sharp detail, rarity, and condition. It represents the very peak of what a wheat penny can be: classic design, perfect preservation, and historical significance. Owning one of these is like holding a piece of 1950s America frozen in time, untarnished, untouchable, and utterly priceless. But here's a tip for collectors watching this. Condition is everything. A common 1953 S penny in worn condition might still be worth a small premium, but in extra fine condition, it transforms into a treasure beyond imagination. That's why you should always check every wheat penny you come across. You never know, you could be holding a six-figure fortune and not even realize it. And that's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's a world of surprises, where the smallest coin can hold the biggest secret treasures. So remember this, the 1953 with S Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition isn't just a coin. It's a story, a survivor, and a $132,000 masterpiece that proves history has value beyond measure. Stay with us here on Hidden US Coins, because every coin we reveal is another chance to uncover the fortune hiding in plain sight. And believe me, the next coin will only add more fire to this incredible treasure hunt. Next, coin number 9. The year is 1954. America was in the middle of great change. Elvis Presley was about to hit the airwaves, the Cold War was reshaping the world, and families across the nation were saving every cent as prosperity grew. And quietly, inside the San Francisco Mint, the Lincoln wheat penny was struck with its proud S mint mark, continuing a tradition that collectors would one day chase like buried treasure. Now, most people who see a 1954 with S wheat penny wouldn't look twice. They'd see a small copper coin, maybe even one with brown spots or in an old dirty condition, and think it belongs in a jar of pocket change. But collectors know better. Because when you hold one of these survivors, you are not just holding copper, you are holding a living relic of history. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's timeless profile still shines through, even when the coin shows its battle scars of time. Those small brown spots? They are the fingerprints of history, natural signs of copper aging after 7 decades of existence. The old dirty condition does not weaken its value. Instead, it tells the story of a coin that has lived, survived, and still carries its full design with strength. In fact, collectors often say that these imperfections make the coin even more authentic, proof that it has passed through countless hands without being destroyed. Flip the coin over, and you will see the wheat stalks on the reverse. Though softened by age, they still stand proudly, reminding us of America's resilience and abundance. This is the beauty of wheat pennies. Even in worn condition, they carry a grace and strength that connects past to present. Now here's the part that will shock you. Despite its old, dirty condition, this coin is highly sought after, and its rarity drives collectors into bidding wars. The 1954 S wheat penny in this unique state of survival is currently valued at a staggering $125,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, a coin many people would overlook or dismiss as common, is actually worth a treasure that can change lives. And this is no inflated claim. This is today's real collector market. Prices are climbing every year. As collectors recognize the shrinking supply of original wheat pennies, especially those with the S mint mark. Once overlooked, coins like this are now recognized as gold mines in copper form. The demand for 1954 with S is also fueled by its historical context. It represents the final years of the wheat penny series, which would soon be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. That means every late-date wheat penny is a countdown coin, part of the last chapter of a historic design. And when one survives in collectible form, no matter if it carries spots or dirt, it transforms into a collector's dream. Here's a tip for every coin hunter watching this. Never underestimate a coin because it looks old or dirty. Sometimes the ones that seem least impressive to the naked eye carry the biggest surprises. In fact, those flaws and signs of age can prove that the coin has never been tampered with, making it even more desirable in the eyes of serious collectors. And here's the powerful truth. The $125,000 value of this coin today is not a ceiling, it's a beginning. The market is alive, demand is rising, and this penny story is far from over. With each passing year, its value grows stronger, like a treasure chest filling itself over time. So, the 1954 wheat penny with brown spots and old dirty condition is a perfect example of how history rewards patience. From a simple coin of the 1950s to a six-figure treasure today, it proves that the smallest things often hold the greatest wealth. Stay tuned right here on Hidden US Coins, because the final coin in this countdown is coming up, and trust me, you will not believe the treasure we are about to reveal next. Next coin, number 10. We have finally reached the grand finale of this treasure hunt, and believe me, the last coin on this list is one that leaves even seasoned collectors stunned. The year is 1955. America was in the heart of a cultural revolution. Rock and roll was exploding with Elvis Presley's first hits. Disneyland had just opened its gates, and the United States was stepping boldly into a new era of prosperity and imagination. But hidden in the pockets of everyday Americans that year was a simple coin that would one day transform into a six-figure fortune. The 1955 wheat penny struck at the San Francisco Mint. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin extraordinary. At first glance, it may not look like a treasure. This 1955 penny has gray spots across its surface, and it comes in circulation condition, meaning it has clearly passed through the hands of many. But that's exactly what makes this coin so fascinating despite all of its travels. Despite being spent, exchanged, and pocketed countless times, it has survived intact, carrying with it every ounce of its historical and collector's value. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's profile remains strong and dignified. Even with circulations wear, the contours of his face and hair are visible, echoing the enduring strength of the man himself. The reverse, with its twin wheat stalks, still carries the classic beauty that defined America's small change for nearly half a century. And then there's the S mint mark, tiny but vital. That mark tells the world this coin was struck in San Francisco, where far fewer wheat pennies were minted compared to Philadelphia or Denver, instantly making it a scarcer, more desirable issue. Collectors understand something powerful about this coin. It is not perfection that gives it value. It is survival and rarity. Millions were minted, yes, but how many 1955 with S pennies in circulation condition still remain? Very few. And how many carry their age and flaws proudly, with the authenticity of real history etched into every mark and gray spot? Almost none. That is why collectors compete fiercely whenever one comes to auction. And here's the truth that will shock you. This 1955 wheat penny in circulation condition with gray spots is valued at $120,000 in today's market. Yes, a penny something. You might have dismissed as small change has become a treasure chest in copper, commanding six figures from collectors hungry to secure it. But let me be clear, this is no fairy tale. This is the real collector market, alive and growing stronger by the day. The value of this coin is not just stable, it is climbing. Every year, as fewer and fewer of these coins remain in existence, demand grows fiercer. That means the $120,000 tag today could rise even higher tomorrow. This is a coin that does not just preserve wealth, it creates it, turning history into fortune. Here's an important tip for every collector watching. Never overlook a coin just because it has spots, discoloration, or signs of circulation. Sometimes, those very features are what make a coin genuine, untouched, and valuable. The imperfections tell a story, and collectors are willing to pay dearly for authenticity. So, what have we learned from this incredible countdown? From 1918 all the way to 1955, every coin we've revealed proves one undeniable truth. The Lincoln wheat penny is not just pocket change. It is America's hidden treasure chest, waiting to be discovered. Each coin carries history, survival, and unmatched collector demand. And as values climb, these pennies are becoming treasures that can change lives forever. This 1955 wheat penny is the perfect finale. It reminds us that history does not need to be polished to perfection to hold priceless value. Even in circulation, even with gray spots, it shines as a six-figure masterpiece, a once common coin that today stands as a rare and powerful treasure. And remember, here on Hidden US Coins, we bring you the truth, the excitement, and the newest updates from the world of rare treasures. Every day, we reveal coins that others overlook, and every day, we prove that the smallest pieces of history can hold the greatest wealth. So stay with us because the treasure hunt never ends. The next coin we reveal could be the one hiding in your very own collection.